Hi everyone, my name is Andres Galindo, also known as Andy. You may recognize me from other speech assignments such as Essay 1 or Essay 2. Today's essay, we're going to be covering Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the history of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, dominant positions of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and how it can benefit individuals by learning the martial arts. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu dates back around the 1920s when an individual by the name of Carlos Gracie was training Jiu-Jitsu with another individual that came from Japan. Carlos Gracie decided to mix his own moves and put his own techniques into the Jiu-Jitsu Judo that he was learning. Carlos Gracie also had a family. He had a total of 9 brothers, and all of them pretty much trained the same martial arts. Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, which eventually turned into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, was so well known, so famous, that it came to be very popular here in the United States. The younger generations of the Gracie family, which was based off of like Royce Gracie, which I'll speak about him in a while, and his older brother Carlos Gracie, which is Carlos Jr., because obviously his father was the first one who invented the sport, or who invented the Jiu-Jitsu style fighting techniques. They came over here to the United States to challenge other people and let them see what their martial arts can put up against the other different types of martial arts. All of us know the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championship, right? Well, because of the Gracies and their challenges on other people's martial arts and styles of techniques, it came to be the UFC, which was pretty much just a challenging of every other martial art and see who could see whose was most dominant. Obviously, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, came to be effective because they won the UFC 1. There was a series of fights, and they had to fight the same individual or the same person. If they won, they continued to fight. So it was a total of about like maybe 6 fights until the championship. So I mean, just think about it. 6 fights, fight after fight after fight, they had to fight. The Gracie Jiu-Jitsu turned to be the victor because they took the championship and they won the first place. And they also did it UFC 1, UFC 2 they made it all the way, except that he had a injury and couldn't participate or couldn't finish the fights. Otherwise he would have won again, as well as UFC 3. And because of that, MMA came to be a well-known sport, which is a mixed martial arts, which is pretty much everything: grappling, stand-up, fighting, throwing, hip throws, and it's very well known around the world right now. Okay, some of the dominant positions are the mount position. Okay, talking into a little bit, getting into it a little more, because there's 3 dominant positions, and if you achieve these, you pretty much will conquer any fight, which is the mount position, which is just pretty much being on top of straddling your opponent while on the floor. You will have both of your knees around the person's hip, straight as high as up you can against his armpits, and that's pretty much it. The second dominant position is the rear mount position. Pretty much have the hooks of your ankles around the person's inner thighs, and pretty much if you want, you can have them hugged around you with your head tucked in. And then the third and final dominant position is the side control. Side control is just pretty much laying on top of the individual with his back to the ground and you on the side of him, controlling his hips with your elbow and your knees, and his neck with your other elbow, and you're controlling your balance by extending one leg straight. So those are the 3 dominant positions. I'll explain about them in further detail. Some of the benefits of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is that not only are you getting physically fit, but you're self-aware of everything around you because you're more confident and you have an ability of self-defense. Anybody that studies any martial arts, regardless of what it is, will be a little bit more confident when challenging an opponent or getting challenged by an opponent, because they know a little bit of what they can do to effectively submit the individual. Okay, being physically fit is a big one. If you're not physically fit with anything, even if it's not fighting, anything about like running, you still have to be physically fit. You have to have endurance. Being situationally aware of everything is a big factor too. Because you could be walking down the street and somebody can just grab your wallet or something and take off running with it. I mean, anything like that can. If you're physically fit and you're aware of your surroundings, you'll go after that guy, or that wouldn't have ever happened if you were aware. So with that being said, I hope you like this presentation and give me your comments on this essay. Thank you.